has built many hospitals. He was out for a period of time and then
Córtale, güey.
I'd like to start with a quote from Viktor Frankl, who was a Jewish psychotherapist who survived the Nazi concentration camps. He said, "We who lived in the camps remember the people who walked through the huts, comforting others, giving away their last crust of bread. Though they were few in number, they offered sufficient proof that everything can be taken away from a man but one thing, the last of the great human freedoms, the ability to choose one's own way." That is me. I chose and have chosen my own way all my life. I want to introduce you a little bit to why I feel qualified to talk about caring. When you've had a fairly simple film made of your life by a person a foot shorter than you, people still feel they have a sense that they know you. And so I'm going to give you two areas of care that I have spent my lifetime in, and that is medicine and clowning. I entered medicine in '67 to use it as a vehicle for social change. As a whole systems thinker, what I wanted to do was to create a model that would address every single problem of the way care is delivered in one model. Not as an answer to something, but a stimulant to say, it can be done. So what would you like? And so when I graduated in 1971, 20 adults and their children, 3 of us physicians, moved into a large 6-bedroom house and said we were a hospital. It's audacious a bit, but if you've been to the third world as I have, we look pretty good. Running water and toilets is really high class, actually. We were open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for all manner of medical problems from birth to death. We ran this pilot for 12 years. We had 500 to 1,000 people in our home each month, with 5 to 50 overnight guests a night. I'm sure you can do the math. 6 bedrooms, 20 adults and their children living there, 5 to 50 overnight guests a night. Let's just say there was interaction. It was extremely crowded at all times. Of course, these people, not uncommonly, were needy and needy and needy and lonely, 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 so lonely. And so much in pain, so much suffering. Dangerous. My closest friend in medical school was murdered by one of our patients. We didn't screen anybody. Of the 15,000 people who came through our home in that period of time, 3,000 had profound, serious mental health histories, and never in our 35-year history did we dislike a patient enough to give them a psychotropic medication. In fact, we let people be insane in our home. The one rule was no physical violence. So, never in our history did we charge money for anything that we did, and it wasn't that we were free for poor people. We wanted to eliminate the idea of debt in the medical interaction. We didn't want somebody to think they owed something. We wanted them to be excited that they belonged to something called community. In that same flavor, we never had anything to do with any kind of insurance. I've never seen an insurance form, and nothing gives me an indication that I would want to. And certainly not dealing with insurance means no joint commission, which is a red star on anyone's medical chart. Really nice not to be part of that team. I'm a family doctor, and I wondered, what does that mean to be a family doctor? Since I did not get any real impression when I was in medical school of some physician I wanted to emulate. I didn't find the physician personalities in my medical school similar to the way my mother taught me to care about people. But I knew as an extreme extrovert what people wanted, and that was that they wanted sweet listening, sweet tenderness, and no sense that they're in a hurry. So my initial interview with a new patient from the very beginning has been 3 or 4 hours. Very intense time. I, of course, probe indiscriminately as deep as I can get with a human being. In fact, I insisted that I went to their homes. Opened every drawer, went in every closet. Got help your privacy. You asked me to be your doctor after all. See, that's it. So could I do one poem? You know, I memorized all these poems. Can I get one poem? How about a poem about true love, okay? It's just a fun poem. Okay, great. Nobel laureate a couple of years ago from Poland, Wisława Szymborska, a woman, has this poem about true love, because a lot of people are wondering if it's possible. It is, by the way, my research. True love. Is it normal? Is it serious? Is it practical? What does the world get from two people who exist in a world of their own, placed on the same pedestal for no good reason? Drawn randomly from millions, but convinced it had to happen this way. In reward for what? For nothing. The light descends from nowhere. Why on these two and not on others? Doesn't this outrage justice? Yes, it does. Doesn't this disrupt our painstakingly erected principles and cast the moral from its peak? Yes, on both accounts. Look at the happy couple. Couldn't they at least try to hide it? Fake a little depression for their friend's sake? Listen to them laughing. It's an insult. The language they use, deceptively clear. And the little rituals, celebrations, the elaborate mutual routines, it's obviously a plot behind the human race's back. It's hard even to guess how far things might go if people start to follow their example. What would religion and poetry count on? What would be remembered? What pronounced? Who'd want to stay within bounds? Ha ha! True love! Is it really necessary? Tact and common sense tell us to pass by it in silence like some scandal in life's highest circus. Perfectly good children were born without its help. It couldn't change the world in a million years. It comes along so rarely. I let the people who never find true love keep saying that it doesn't exist. Their faith will make it easier for them to live and die. I'd like to thank Heidi for being an amazing hostess. I'd like to honor Alan and bless generosity. There's only one way to get meaning in life, and that is through giving. Thank you very much.